Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 100 Wonders of the World. Today, we'll be talking about Cappadocia. It's in Turkey and it's in part of the continent Asia, Cappadocia. Over millennia, lava, wind, and water have played their part in creating the bizarre rock formations of Cappadocia. These forces are still at work today on this masterpiece of nature's art in the central Anatolian Highlands. Cappadocia's fantastic landscape of rocks and cliffs is one of a kind. There is no other like it in the world. On this spot, millions of years ago, the earth heaved and boiled, and the nearby volcanoes of Icarus and Hassan filled the air with their sulfurous smoke. A thick layer of ash covered the landscape, and rivers of hot glowing lava ran through it. This liquid landscape hardened only to be further subjected to the whims of wind and water. Millennia of heavy rainfall smoothed the rugged surface, collecting in rivers and streams that wound up their way deep into the depths of the soft sedimentary bedrock. Meanwhile, the firmer strata, such as those composed of the ingenious rock formed by volcanic action, stood firm in the face of the erosive forces, forming pinnacles that rise over the landscape like mountains with hats on their peaks, or perhaps giant mushrooms in a fairy tale. The Turks called these bizarre formations peri-bakalar, or fairy chimneys. This magnificent landscape, sculptured by natural forces, extends over an area of 37 square miles, resembling a sculpture park that is forever under construction, as each piece is continuously altered into something new. The erosive forces carry on with their artistic efforts as if they were not yet satisfied with the result. When people arrived in this wild landscape, they settled here, seemingly against all logic, for it's not clear what this rugged, barren landscape had to offer. Yet the first traces of human settlement reach back far into the Neolithic period, nearly 10,000 years ago. The settlers gave Cappadocia its identity. Throughout antiquity, the inhabitants of its barely arable landscape were known as wild, rough people. Up to very recent times, Cappadocians have altered the landscape to suit their purposes. They have dug into the rock formations, hollowed them out as living spaces, and sunk new caverns into the bedrock. The local stone is easily worked with simplest tools, permitting entire cities to be settled in artificially created or enhanced tough stone caves. In some cases, these underground cities extended deep beneath the surface, protecting their inhabitants from invaders as well from the depredations of wind and weather. The caves remain pleasantly cool even on the hottest days, yet the bedrock also retains enough heat during the cold winter to keep the air temperature inside steady at between 50 Fahrenheit and 60 Fahrenheit. Hittites, Phrygians, Persians, and Romans have all settled here briefly, leaving behind sparse remains. Historically, Cappadocia was one of the most important centers of early Christianity, falling under the rule of the Byzantine Empire in 1071. Many of the over 1,000 cave churches stem from an age when Christianity was spreading throughout central Anatolia. Cave churches and cities are still being discovered today, often with interiors brightly painted with colorful frescoes decorating walls and domed ceilings. They were places where early Christians could practice their faith in peace and security, protected and hidden by walls of underground rock. With only a few well-disguised entrances, these mysterious underground cities continue to fascinate. Thank you for listening, everyone, and stay tuned for more of the 100 Wonders of the World. Thank you.